Hello everyone. In this video we are going to make some appearance mods for the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt using REDkit. And our focus will be on Geralt of Rivia. I will show you how to edit Geralt's armor and make new armors. Not just his armor, his sword, face, hair, body, eyes and many more. Let's start with replacing existing armors in REDkit. For example, add one of the main NPC's armor to Geralt. First, you need to find one of Geralt's equipable armors, like this one. Then find an armor you want to replace it with this. I would like to replace Wild Hunt Imlerif armor, this one. To find these mesh files in REDkit, click on this icon to open Asset Browser. All files we need are located inside this. In this path, inside models, we have mesh files that belongs to Imlerif armor. This one is upper body part, and this one is lower body. Let's first try to replace this upper body armor. In order to do that, we have to export the mesh file. Right-click on the mesh, and select Export Asset. Then select the location to export. Finally, click Save. Now go to that location. As you can see, we exported the mesh file as an FBX file. And we also have this file, XML, which comes with the mesh file. It's for locating other materials of this file. Now inside Asset Browser, go to that path which has the armor file you want to replace Imlerif armor with it. For me it's here and it's this file. What you need to do in order to replace the extracted mesh file as an FBX file or any file, right-click on the background and import, then mesh. Now find that mesh file, select it, then open. Here in file name, give the name of the file you want to replace this one with that one, so they replace. And here, if it's empty, select this, and on this window, select this option. Now find that XML file exported with mesh file, select it and open. This method will let REDkit knows what texture files this mesh file uses. Finally, here, click OK All. It's going to ask two questions. Answer yes to both. And cancel this. Okay, we replaced the armor. Now let's publish the mod and see if it works. To publish, click on Publish. Save and publish. Then cook the mod and install. Okay, after installing the mod, if you run the game and equip that armor you replace the Imlerif armor, it should work. Yeah, it moves when Geralt moves and the textures are also working, but it seems a little big for Geralt, right? Well, this is not the correct way of doing it, that's why. But it's so simple and fast, and it works perfectly fine in so many other cases. For example, if you replace the other part of this Imlerif armor with Geralt's armor, and wear them inside game, it will look fine. But we have a problem. As you can see, other part of armor or Geralt's body part are not matched with the armor we replaced. To fix this, we should use Blender. But you can also try to replace the armor part which is not matched correctly with the mesh file you're having problem with. That will fix the problem. Or use Mesh Editor. Open the mesh file you want to edit. From Loads and Chunks, select the material, then remove or hide it by clicking on this. Both of this can be used to fix the problem, but they can cause you other problems. And sometimes the mesh file it's just one big armor, like this one. You can also use the same method to get it done. For example, replace it with this mesh file and install it. Then select that armor inside game, and there you go. You can also replace armors or anything using entity files, if your material have any. This is how. Open the entity file and copy these, then open the other entity file you want to replace this one to that one. After that, delete the original ones here and right click here, then paste. Save it and done.
See, you've taken a liking to this place.
I could stay right here forever.
Before we move to Blender, let us know how texture works. For example, let's say you want to edit this mesh file's texture. Go to Materials and select the material you want to edit. Use this highlight option to identify the material you're selecting. Then down here, we have Material Shader, which you can change, but the default one is best for this mesh. Now, in Local Instance, in Material, Parameters, you can find the texture files. We usually have a few versions of them. You see these XPM files? They are the texture files that belongs to this shirt. One of them is diffuse, which is the most important one, and it looks like this. To find it inside Asset Browser, select it, and here, click on this magnifier icon. Then it will find it for you inside Asset Browser. If you want to edit this, simply export it and open it with Photoshop or other softwares that edit textures, and start editing it. After you're done, export the file as JPG or PNG. Then inside Asset Browser, import the file as a 2D texture. You can replace it with the original one by giving it the same name. Now let's say you want to add someone's face texture to Geralt. It's so simple. First open the face mesh file you want to change its texture, then open the mesh file you want to add its texture, and put them like this. So here I have Suri and here I have Geralt. In Materials, select the material you want to change its texture, and down here, simply copy the path and paste it on other mesh. You can also find the texture file inside Asset Browser, then select it and click on this green arrow to place that texture here. If you add any new texture file inside Asset Browser, this is how you will add it on your mesh file. Now let's use Blender and add a new armor for Geralt. First, export an armor mesh file from Asset Browser. An armor mesh file that have the armature on it, like this one. Armatures are these. They are bones. This is how armor moves when Geralt's body moves. If you want to add a whole new armor set, you also need to export all of the armor parts that belongs to Geralt, so you have the all armatures. We need all of the armatures because the armor we're going to add, it should merge with them. So every part of the armor moves with animations correctly. But for now I am going to only change the upper body, which this armor and armature is enough. After you find your armor mesh file, export it. You have to open it with Blender, but first you need FBX Importer add-on for Blender. It's a file you can download from Nexus. I did put the direct link to this page in video description. Come here, in Files, download the file which is compatible with your Blender version. After that, go to your Blender installation directory and open the downloaded mod file and put this folder, which is your Blender version, inside here. Drag and drop. When it asks this, click Replace. we did change the FBX add-on, so it supports FBX files inside REDkit. They have different format than original FBX files. This is Blender main page. Click on General and select these items, then press Delete key on your keyboard to delete them, because we don't need them, they are just in the way. Next, it's time to import the mesh file that we extracted from REDkit. Click on Files here and find Import. Then choose FBX, this one, click on it. Here don't change any settings. And here find the FBX file that we extracted from REDkit, then select it and import. Okay, we have the armor. Now in order to navigate inside Blender, you can use these options here. Or use your scroller. You can hold it and turn the camera. Hold it and hold Shift as well, then move around. And scroll forward to zoom in and backward to zoom out. Right now I am in object mode. From here you can change this to edit mode to any other mode. But for now put it on object. And on this side we have different viewports, which are helpful. Depends on what you're doing, you can change them anytime you want. For now, select this one. And on this side we have the mesh files, armatures and materials. Click on this arrow to open it. As you can see, we have an armature and 3 mesh files. We only need the first one, these two are not necessary. If you change the viewport to this one, you can see which one is with more vertices. Pick that one and delete the rest. Vertices are dots and lines are edges. Now, if you want to edit this armor, select the mesh file and change the object mode to edit mode. Then here, use these options to edit it. You can edit it in many ways. You can change its size, its shape, or select some vertices, then delete them, so you can delete those parts of the armor you don't want. Now, if you export this as an FBX file and import it inside REDkit, then install the mod, it will change inside the game.
A nap.
But we want to add a new armor. I did download one. It's a 3D armor file. It can be FBX file or any other file that Blender supports. Just import it inside Blender on top of this file. From imports. Now as you can see, the size is different. We have to scale it, we have to change its size, its shape. So Geralt armature can support it. So it can look right on Geralt. Before that, delete any unnecessary mesh files. Okay, let's edit. Select the mesh file in object mode, then change the object mode to edit mode. And this time select the vertices, one or few together like this, and use these options to move them. And if you turn this option on, then try to move the vertices. When they move, the other move a bit as well, so it looks much more better. And you see this halo? You can use a scroller to make it smaller and bigger. And if you change the viewport to this one, you can see the vertices much better and can be able to select them better. And to see the armature better, select the armature, then down here select this and find the viewport display. Then open it and turn this option on. You can also change their shape with this option. But don't scale them. If you scale them, if you make them bigger, change where they are. it's going to change inside game as well. And if your mesh file has an armature, you can use bones of the mesh file and try to scale it with main armor's armature. For that you need to choose pose mode. Okay, this looks good. Now delete the armature of new armor, if you have any, and the mesh file of main armor by selecting them and pressing delete key on your keyboard. Okay, last thing we need to do is to merge the new mesh file with the main armor armature. Go to object mode and select the mesh file, then hold Ctrl and select armature. Next, press Ctrl plus P, and here, in armature deform, select automatic weights. Now select the armature, and here go to pose mode, and select this option. Then select one of the bones, and move it. See if armor moves with it. If it moves, then you did it right. If that didn't work, for some reason, weight paint manually. Okay, I'm done. We are ready to export. From Files, select Export, and as FBX. Here don't change any option, just find the location and export the file. After that, go to REDkit, Asset Browser, and import the mesh file in the main armor path. Now in file name, give the original mesh file name, because we want to replace it, and OK all. Then answer yes to these questions. And cancel this. Okay, you have it. But as you can see, the textures are not installed. Now, if your mesh file has a texture file, which mine does, first inside Asset Browser, make a new directory by right-clicking on Background and selecting this option. Now right-click here and select Import. Then 2D textures. Here find the texture files that belongs to the mesh and select them, then import them. Give them a name and OK all. Now we have the textures we need. Open the mesh file and in materials select the material you want to edit. Edit its textures. For me is this. And check this mark. Then down here, we have diffuse and normals. If you remember previous method, you know what to do. This texture is for diffuse. Select the texture and click on this green arrow. Now this is normal. Select it and add here. You can also give it shaders if you want to. Or use other mesh files textures. You can also make a texture file for your mesh using texture editor softwares like Photoshop. Then use it here. After you're done, simply publish the mod and let's see how it works. There you go, it works fine. For more detailed mod, I recommend you to watch some Blender guides. You need Blender skills, so you can make really cool mods. You can also add a helmet for Geralt by replacing one with mask that Geralt can wear it. You can also edit his eyes and head and hair and many more with this way. For example, export one of Geralt's hair mesh files, like this one. Now import it inside Blender. As you can see, hair mesh file also has an armature, so use the same method to edit it. I add a new hair model, which I downloaded from internet, and place it where it should be. Then select the mesh and hold Ctrl, then select armature and Ctrl plus P. Then here, select automatic weights. But make sure to delete the original mesh file. Now, We're ready to export. Export it and import it inside Asset Browser and replace it with the original hair mesh file. Now it's time to add the textures. My mesh file has them, so I did import them inside Asset Browser. Now in Materials, select the material, then down here add the textures. And give it a shader. Because it's hair, you better give it this one. After that, you can also use Vortex Paint here, if you need them. Finally, publish the mod and enjoy. Well, that was it for this video. See you in the next one. Good luck.
My time's up. So long.